Let's think bigger. In this video, we're going to talk about how to get your first B2B client. If you're a consultant, an executive coach, or professional services provider, and you're looking to land your first B2B client, first and foremost, congratulations. And second, you might be really tempted to start building and creating a lot of stuff you probably don't need. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you Bold House's 5 rules of business to help you get focused on where to actually put your time, resources, and money so we can get you earning revenue with B2B clients as quickly as possible with spending the least amount of time and the least amount of money possible. Let's get into it. Rule number 1 in business is the most important rule of business there is, and that is to follow the money. Now look, we understand that you're probably not in business just to make money. If you're like a lot of the business owners we work with at Bold House, the impact that you're making in the world, the positive impact that you're making, is just as important as the revenue that you're generating. But you are in business, and the revenue is important because you can't have impact, you can't sustain your business if it's not making any money. So what do we mean by follow the money? What we mean by follow the money is look at the industries in the marketplace that are in growth mode, that are being successful, where the marketplace is thriving. Right now is not a great time, for example, to focus on things like retailers, which are still continuing to struggle, whereas things like biotech companies, energy companies, space industry companies, defense companies, technology companies are really thriving. They're hiring employees, they're making investments into communities, they're building new facilities. That's where there's a lot of money, and you want to put your business in the stream where the money is. The other thing you want to look at is where inside of organizations is there the most money. Every department, every section of an organization is either a profit center to a company or it's a cost center to a company. And it's not that cost centers aren't good clients to have, things like human resources and talent development, those things are cost centers, but there are also a lot of profit centers inside of organizations that could no doubt take advantage of your expertise, your services, and your programs. So you really want to be mindful. Where is the money going in the marketplace? And inside of those companies, which departments, which divisions, which lines of business have the biggest treasure chest? Here's a secret for you. CIOs, the IT departments, they often have some of the most money in the company, but don't tell them I told you that. The second rule of business is to know thyself. And this is really important, especially when you are an expert-based business owner. When you're a coach, a keynote speaker, a trainer, a consultant, and your business is built around your expertise, you really want to make sure you understand some things about yourself. You want to understand which types of client projects and services you have the most motivation, the most natural energy to sell into the marketplace. I'll tell you, even the most well-run, well-systematized, highly profitable small businesses out there, there's still days that running a business is going to be a grind. It takes mental energy. It takes physical energy. You want to understand where you are naturally gravitating. You want to understand the type of work that you enjoy doing. You want to understand the types of clients that are going to get you really excited to get out there in the marketplace, to go speak to those decision makers at conferences or through podcasts. You even want to look at how you want to structure your business and which things you want to personally do versus which things you may have team members or bench members doing for you instead. Build this business for the long haul. Don't build this business for just getting this first B2B client and we'll see what happens. You want to be making long-term decisions because ideally you're building this business for the long term. And that's also going to make which B2B clients you go after more obvious. Instead of just looking at the marketplace and going, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. If you really understand that you're going to be at the heart of this business, it's going to help you get clear as to which B2B decision makers to target. Rule number 3 is to grow where you're planted. And this is really, really important in the B2B space. When we say grow where you're planted, we mean 2 things by that. First and foremost, grow where you're planted geographically. There are a ton of organizations right in your backyard, and you want to make sure that those B2B decision makers that are located in the same municipality, the same city, the same province that you're located in, that they know who you are. That proximity is such a powerful competitive advantage. Yes, speaking at conferences is great, but you don't want to have to hop on a flight every single week to go speak somewhere. If you are building a professional reputation right where you are physically planted, you're going to be able to get to a lot more B2B decision makers than ever. You also want to grow where you're planted from an expertise, from an industry perspective. You have no doubt worked inside of organizations. If you've worked in the healthcare space, if you've worked in the hospitality space, if you've worked in the consumer electronics space, those are places that you really want to focus in terms of where you might want to niche down. Not that you only work with those organizations, but it's going to give you instant credibility because you've worked inside of those types of companies. You know their lingo, you know which conferences are the key conferences to be at. You even probably have professional connections already inside of those organizations because, again, you were already planted there. You already have that proximity to those folks. So that's rule number 3, grow where you're planted. Rule number 4 is to think big, start small, and move fast. When you're first getting started, having a big vision can be really, really motivating. It can also be somewhat paralyzing if you don't know where to start. The thing is, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your vision is going to shift and change over time as you start winning clients, working with those organizations, seeing the results, and also hearing feedback from organizations in terms of where they really want your help and your expertise brought to bear. Don't get paralyzed with the big vision. We want to get you into action quickly so you can start getting that market feedback. Great quote is, when you listen carefully, your clients explain your business to you. So the more quickly you can work with organizations and your B2B clients, the more quickly you're going to get that feedback and really be able to shape that vision even more. Rule number 5 is conversations create cash flow. And this is one of the most fundamental things to understand about working with corporate clients and organizational clients. Unlike 99% of the strategies that are out in the marketplace that are really designed for selling to individuals, selling to consumers, selling in the solopreneur space, when you're working with B2B decision makers, they're not making an impulse buy while they're scrolling through their Instagram feed. They are spending their employer's money and they are investing resources and time and people that really belong to that organization, not that belong to them personally. And so the way that B2B decision makers ultimately make investment decisions for consulting services, coaching, training workshops, professional services, and more is through conversations. Everything that you do as a business owner right now needs to be geared toward the idea that you want to have the least amount of steps between you and conversations with real B2B decision makers, which really brings us to the next conversation that we need to have. So now that you have these 5 rules of business, the next step is to start getting into as many conversations as you can with B2B decision makers. So the next video that you want to check out is where I explain how to get consulting clients fast. I've dropped the link right below in the description. And when you get to that video, I'm going to share with you the 1-2 punch to start scheduling those conversations. So I'll see you over there in just a few seconds.